Welcome to this explainer. You know, measuring health literacy accurately at a population level is a seriously complex challenge. Today, we're diving into the European Health Literacy Survey framework. Specifically, we're going to examine the variations of these tools to help you confidently navigate the analytical trade-offs of each instrument. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover an overview of the HLS-EU tools, jump into scoring and cutoff criteria, weigh the advantages and limitations, do a side-by-side comparison, and finally, establish how to select the right tool for your specific research. So let's start with Section 1, an overview of the HLS-EU tools and their foundational forms. We absolutely have to start with the foundational HLS-EU-47Q. This is your comprehensive gold standard index. It maps health literacy across multiple domains and yields up to 19 distinct sub-indices for incredibly granular analysis. But, as you might guess, it's highly resource-intensive to administer. To mitigate respondent fatigue and cut costs in large-scale population surveys, researchers systematically derived two shorter alternatives, the 16-item and 6-item forms. The methodological goal here was straightforward: retain maximum statistical validity while drastically cutting down the administration time. Moving to Section 2, scoring and cutoff criteria. Let's see how we actually calculate this health data. As we reduce the item count, the mathematical foundation of our scoring shifts pretty significantly. The 16Q uses a dichotomous scoring method, meaning responses are strictly categorized as either 0 or 1. This gives you a sum score ranging from 0 to 19. Scores of 0 to 8 indicate inadequate literacy, 9 to 12 are problematic, and 13 to 19 are sufficient. Conversely, the 6Q uses a 4-point scale to generate a mean score. Here, a mean below 2.00 is flagged as inadequate. So you're looking at a fundamentally different analytical approach to your dataset depending on which tool you use. Which brings us to Section 3, advantages and limitations. It's time to evaluate the trade-offs. When we evaluate the 16-item scale, some very distinct trade-offs emerge. On the plus side, it maintains a remarkably strong correlation with the comprehensive index, showing an R-value of 0.822. And crucially, it remains rash homogeneous within a single country. But that efficiency definitely comes at a cost. You lose the statistical power to conduct full subgroup analyses. Furthermore, because it fails to maintain that rash homogeneous across different nations, it severely compromises your ability to conduct cross-national comparative research. And this brings us to the 16Q's most significant psychometric limitation, the data distribution. Rather than a normal curve, it actually produces a strongly negatively skewed J-shaped distribution. For us researchers, this is a major headache. It completely restricts the use of many standard parametric statistical analyses that rely on normal variance, which is a stark contrast to the standard bell-shaped distribution you'd get from the full 47Q index. On the flip side, let's look at the ultra-brief 6-item scale. Interestingly, it mathematically restores that normal bell-shaped distribution. It also demonstrates highly robust reliability, boasting a correlation of 0.896 with the full index, all while requiring roughly just 1 minute to administer. But the huge caveat here is its extremely limited theoretical scope. With only 6 variables, deep dimensional analysis is mathematically impossible. You simply cannot evaluate complex health literacy subdimensions. Let's move to Section 4. Comparing the assessment tools, a direct, side-by-side view. When you evaluate these instruments side-by-side like this, the methodological friction between economy and reliability becomes glaringly obvious. The 16Q offers great economy at under 3 minutes, but it suffers from that unworkable negative skew and an uncomputable Cronbach's alpha. The 6Q pushes economy to the absolute limit, just 1 single minute, while surprisingly restoring both a bell-shaped distribution and solid internal reliability with an alpha of 0.803. Finally, Section 5, selecting the right tool. Let's lay out some actionable guidelines. Ultimately, your instrument selection must be dictated by your primary research objectives. Reserve the comprehensive 47Q for primary investigations where deep, multidimensional exploration of health literacy is your core focus. Deploy the 16Q for targeted efficiency, meaning when your resources are constrained but health literacy still remains a dedicated primary measure. And utilize the 6Q strictly when health literacy operates as an auxiliary or confounding variable among many others in a much broader population survey. So before you finalize your survey architecture, you have to definitively answer one crucial question. What exact role does health literacy play in your dataset? Your answer to that absolutely dictates your methodology. Will you prioritize granular depth, or are you looking for statistical efficiency? Thank you for joining this explainer. Keep these academic and psychometric trade-offs in mind, and you will ensure your foundational data is always perfectly fit for purpose.